make you throw up. Make you. Somebody knocking at my door as soon as I started. Queen of Swords and Ace of Pentacles, but they came in reverse. That's what came out before that I put back and wasn't sure. 3 minutes and 33 in, and the Tower card kind of was with it, but it was like I wasn't really guided to put it out, so it's more the underlying keep your balance. Some people be going to jail. They should have stayed in their lane. They should have minded their own business. They should have stopped drinking the booty juice from Uranus. 4 minutes and 20 seconds in as we ended up. 420s. Slow and steady seems to be the pace. The overlying energy is the Four of Swords, more balance. And that's really what everybody has different parts. Right? Whole world is stage type thing. So some are in a lot of fear about, right? Somebody use the word lies they told, or right, who they, and a lot, we lie to ourselves. So So a lot of people lie to themselves and they've avoided so much. That's kind of why I had that song on. And I had a whole thing written earlier, and I'm so upset it like erased it because under the description, I had a lot of really good information there, and see, stuff always gets erased on your blanked out. Uh, balancing act, more balance. Here's your map cards. So if you look in and read the description, cleaning house, I wrote this pretty much in the description. Right? We're cleaning our cups from the inside out. 6:06 p.m. as I'm saying that. And right now, 6 minutes in as I said that, 6:06, number of the beast. Um, which is really 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 what is it? Lit, lit. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electron. Wait. Proton, neutron, electron, proton, proton, neutron. That's what makes, right, the carbon, the number of man. So, um, so a lot of the things, right, that we think, and this is the stuff I wrote in the description of the other video that I didn't get to, I don't know what happened. So going through our checks and balances, I got a phone call this morning, and I listen to a lot of other, I don't listen to a lot, but just what I'm guided to hear, who I'm directed to, so to speak, right, where I'm gravitated toward electromagnetically so that I can, right, get the medicine and nutrients I need to fill my soul and build my, right, castle, so to speak, right, Solomon temple, your spiritual temple, your spiritual crown. You want to connect to your, right, underground crown so that the rainbow can connect all the way through like the full circuit. So there's no gap, right? We want to bridge the gap, right? The Ark of the Covenant, the rainbow bridge of self. So others that are, others have different karmic lessons, different things going on in their internal, right, personal space, and timeline, and due to their free will as a human, right? Human have free will. So as far as, right, the human, well, I'd like to do this, or maybe I'll do that. And then we mix it with a feeling. We're like, oh, I don't like that, but maybe not. Or somebody else gets involved. And then, excuse me, please. Yo, just as like, right, did you guys hear that at all? So I don't know if that came on the video or not. So it's like sometimes I've had to put a sign on my door that I'm recording. However, I shouldn't have to put a sign on my door because I could be in here, right, napping, taking a shower, reading, maybe meditating, doing yoga, not wanting to be bothered, right, with my man, with whatever, right? So I don't have to have a sign on my door stating what I'm doing in order for someone to, right, knock at our door, right, and give us some Orella. This is what I was saying with the human. The human part of our certain beings that, right, are tonic. I don't know if that's taking over my voice too purposely right now. people overstep boundaries and they do it literally. It's like it's sometimes we're not. It's like, are they doing that shit on purpose, or do they really just have like a serious mental illness, like a seriously like what's going on? It's like bone collector. No, everything that's been going on as far as like all this, like like the right, have been going. We've been warning. I want to say warning, but we've been telling everybody. We've been letting everybody know. So those who didn't listen, this is right. Like it's like, yo, that flood's been coming, and we can't jump in the water to save you when the water is hitting you. You have to motherfucking swim, motherfucker, and stop trying to grab onto other beings that have been swimming, right? Because it's like that's how you drown in other people, because you're panicking now because you already got the message and you chose not to, right, heed to it. It's like just because, again, I've said this like a analogy, if you just because the cross sign says walk, that don't mean I still look both ways. Or just because somebody's like, oh, it's good, well, I could go step out because I listened to them and here come a car flying around the corner, right? So I'm still gonna like, cool, thank you, I appreciate that, but I'm still naturally going to protect my own ass by looking with my face both ways to make sure that both are safe. You know, I just, there's so much needless energy harvesting. Like that was a perfect example. Um, and again, all love, but it's like, but you know that being is a total archon, which don't mean like bad. It's just that they operate on um, confusion and one of the other readers said, like, you know, they operate on error and that's their food and that's what they eat. And that's very well said. So I don't want to bite anyone else's, you know, term of words, but that was a very good analogy and way of describing that. Um, and it also goes into, again, alcoholic, which is why I opened the song, the video with that. Because being an alcoholic, which is something I wrote in the other video I was going to post, but again, somehow that whole thing, that whole description and all that got just boop or bloop, warlocks, like the blip things, right? Bloop, blink, blink, glamour, glamour, distraction, deflection, reflection. Yeah, over here, over there. Do you see over there? Oh, can you help me? Like, holy, just, right? Holy, holy, holy. Like in the Bible, it's saying all the freaking cherubim or whatever are all around the world. Holy, holy, holy. It's like holy, holy, holy. Sorry, shit. Can y'all stop it? Who made who? Who made you? Yo, it's like respect all the way around. Um, before man wrote about, right, God, or said something was God, or started worshiping something and calling it again God, right? The full mean it's like, right, generator, operator, destroyer. It's just one of the acronyms, okay? Of, you know, so don't like nail me to the cross for, you know, and be like, that's not what it is. It's just one way of interpreting it. And to me, God is everything. It's within, it's without, it's formless, and it touches, right? It comes like spirit travels through everything. You can't, there's no action, right? Like I can't, right? There's no absolute, there's no label or description. So that's, there's no description or label we can place to say like, oh, that's it, right? It's like, these are certain things that, right, we can all, with our feelings and expressions of artistic, right, expression and impressions, create and make and share, right, carry a tune, share that we care, right, like Care Bears stare. which is actually pretty interesting too, right? Care Bears stare because they like remember the Care Bears, and they used to out of their right their solar plexus. And I keep saying the solar plexus has a separate energy grid than a nervous system than the physical body, different grids, right? So it's like right now I'm filming on an Android phone, but my other phone's an iPhone, right? And then my laptop's a Mac. So my it's like, and then I have my Bluetooth shit. So like if I don't turn my Bluetooth off, it's 616. The sixes are popping today. And yo, I keep seeing 119, 911, 119, like, and right where it's flipping a lot. So I don't know if anybody else recognizing that. Oh, my tummy just got funny while I was saying it. um, so there's that. Make a choice. Many choices. Choose one. Um, right? Red pill or blue pill? Did you get the vaccine? Did you get the virus? Did this happen? Uh-oh. Or you can choose none, bar none, right? If you have ability to start going through, right, cleaning our closet, wherever that card went. So we acquire peaks of joy within ourselves. You don't want, we haven't ain't a place to reach. Look at like right now it's cloudy outside. And there's like an old saying too, or ancient saying. I don't know where it come from, but you know, it's like because again, I'm not. That's not my bag. I'm more like wind, air, water, fire, and more. Yeah. Uh, things kind of form and then they just kind of disappear and keep going. So I really don't hold on to like names and labels and feel like that's what it is, definitions and solidity quite so much, right? It's like that's things are solid and things are, yeah, but it's like I'm very aware of the difference when people try to start arguing with me about like metaphysics and elementals and right vibration and energy and the comprehension of right the subtle body and how it, because I'm so in tune with my internal vessel that way. Right, a lot for me it's more hard to feel like more like yeah the outside um like my skin, right? The largest organ that I'm in. That's more um I've always almost like not numb, but it's like have a very high pain tolerance threshold. I don't mean like, you know, right? Like, because when we say something, it's like, oh, so what can you take then, right? See, our first physical or first human carnal mind is like, you know, ooh, right, when we're strong, then we think first, like, well, what can we do with that strength or that tolerance? You know, especially for adrenaline junkies where we're, um, you know, got a lot of fire inside. um, so happy new moon in Taurus. Happy birthday, Tauruses. I'm a Taurus too, right on the cusp of Gemini. Um, as far as my solar, and on this side of the solar, I think my Ayurvedic, I'm not sure. Gotta, oh, I love this one. Magic. And I have mad stuff in Taurus in my chart. Like Jupiter, I think Venus. Uh, and they're all like coming into Gemini. Um, and I'm the 19th, so like I'm right like on that like weeble wobble place. It's funny because I never understood why like when I used to read horoscopes, I was like, yeah, kind of like, but not really. Like it, yeah, but not really. Like it was like, yeah, but nah. Kind of like how church and school was. It was like, yeah, like some stuff, but like, yeah, no, yeah, but what? I was like, always like, huh? Encouragement. So important. I got a call this morning too. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over. It's just part of my energy today, sorry. But for one ring circus, I'm inside the mouth of the mountain. Talk about magical spells and energy. People love to be throwing, right? I mean, it's so good to know too that we're not all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as well as far as all the things that we've all felt for a long time, like with families or with like other stuff, like right, like there's like how come we try to do like certain things or and it's like but it's like there's like a block where there's like certain stuff that it's like because when you work on yourself, so you have awareness, right, of self, where self is coming from and what is yours and what someone else is energetically bringing in, or and that could be too if somebody else is around you, and then that's when you start getting those like weird thoughts and feelings or like that, like or you feel like then you're it's like and it's like they just totally kind of like right, it's like oh we're gonna close now, it's gonna rain. It's kind of like that energy. It's like the energy just kind of stops you in your tracks, right? Like whoa. um Instead of feeling like this, right? Flying free. So we're I wanted to because alcoholic codependency again, a lot of people think that there's something that they're not because they are afraid, right? Which is natural. And Elohim is El Natural, which is way different than raw and real, right? Raw and real is like unfiltered, right? You don't really get like it's not like oh, it's like afterwards, like oh, I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings, right? Feelings like that is Eve, right? The dark void mother and the void which created the light, which is the masculine, the first, right? That's way. This is what there's a lot of confusion for a long time in between all these timelines and spaces, right? And there's so much quantum entanglement because there's so much confusion. This is why, right, original sin is like everything got all tangled up because people just kind of like the cards, right, blend in it. It just energy blends, right? So and it's like natural. Sometimes it's like, oh well, that's understandable, right? Like, or like daughter wants to dress up like mom, or sometimes the son wants to dress up and mom is tough, right? All good. Um, so wanting to dress up like mom and then all saying that you are that and then try it right like it's like the old Doors song. Father, this is the end. Beautiful friend. Um so allowing, again, we give people chances with an open heart, open mind, right? There's certain tolerance and we want our goal at mine anyhow I go speak this, right, is to allow things to grow naturally and hope for the best and absolutely wish for the best in that sense. But I can't, it's like, it's like if a mother bird or a dragon, right, or whatever have you, if a animal in any part of nature gives birth to something that's not healthy, that it doesn't generally last that long, right? It gets that's what becomes food for, right, circle of life. And the animals know that. They sense the weaker. They don't necessarily they right, and they only hunt when they have to. Humans have a very carnal, animalistic mind and behavioral immaturity, right? That still has not quite gained balance and awareness. So very dangerous, right? It's like a drunk driver. So it's like you're very dangerous to yourself and to others. And then you go around acting and thinking that you have this grander knowledge and awareness when all you've done is allowed your emotional body, your emotions, right, to put you in a reactive state. So your emotional body has overridden your mental faculties and it's like static and an electrical storm and right and then or due to Also having, right, we've all had experiences of like abuse or something that's harmed us or that we've lost stuff. So we put up a, so, and some do that way, 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 way more than others and have not gone to get any kind of, right, they haven't gotten the help that they've needed to nurture that aspect of themselves that is erratic. So it doesn't make anybody, right, when I want to say like bad, can they end up doing bad things due to the nature of these things not being right in order and connected properly and attended to and allowing space and time for something to function? It's like if I upload a video, I have to wait for it to upload. Right now I'm live, so it's just there and then it'll just be there. I don't have to worry about, which is really nice for me because I'm always running out of data and space in those areas, especially. Right? Um, and that's another thing we all have to really take a look at, right? With technology, where does everybody's like when you get rid of your? It's like I still have old phone. The phone I'm using now is my friend's phone. He let me use it because he had an extra phone, so I could just use this for videos, which is wonderfully great. I don't have to worry about getting interrupted with phone calls from my phone and etc. Um, so, but oh yeah, what was I saying? Unexpected visitors. Well, I just had a live one up on here and they took off. All good. And then I had the unexpected visitor, which it never fails. It's like literally I don't see it all day, but that person comes knocking at my door or sticks notes under my door. I think on other videos it's happened before. Even when I have the sign on the door, it's like that's why I made the sign. Literally specifically for like 2 or 3 individuals that like really just one at one. And then they argue back with you about like, oh, you should have. It's like, wow, it's like I got a phone call this morning. Both of their names are Susan. Well, one anyhow, whatever. And home sweet home. And Susan's love you very, very much. They're like that reptilian draconian archons that are like and into everything. And I'm gonna dare to say like the witch on the other side of the mirror kind of thing. So it's just right going through the mirror. It doesn't, again, no better or worse or anything. It's just mercurial or also goes to like the other side of the like aurora borealis, right? Like where that's what else do we call that? The northern lights, right? And this also, right, virus of the crown. So I love my mama. Everybody has different areas, right, where they have either neglected or had to hide from because the pain's too much, or we think it means something, or because we felt a certain way, right? Again, so we decided that it was better, right? So coming into awakening, because there's so many different levels to it, and once we think it's like you gain stuff, and then again, it's like you just got to kind of let it go and blow like a daisy, like a right daisy, dandelion. Follow the leader, right? They pop up. Think of those things. They're so strong, they're able to grow up right through concrete. And I love dandelion. Have you ever can eat them? But you can buy them in the grocery store. I'm not saying like go pick one out of the ground and figure out. But the leaves and what have you, not the flowers. The leaves, you listening. Um I put them like I make ancient greens. A lot of time I'll cook kamut, or I've made a few recipes on here. I'll do more. Um, or teff, right? It's another ancient grain we use often. Amaranth is okay. I like cereal. I like amaranth cereal better than I like to cook it. That's not my favorite one. Coming apart. So yeah, there's a lot. So this other way, a lot of the again the ones that didn't have a good sturdy foundation, they thought they do because it's been built on material, right? But their security has been built upon their insecurity. So their insecurities, right? So that's like having a house right on the where the underneath just it wasn't, it didn't have a right, the foundation that it was built upon is not going to uphold that structure. That's why I say you can't take it with you, right? This goes into the story of like Lot and Lot's wife, that Sodom and Gomorrah. Right, and like this was ties into like Monsanto and Roundup, and again they keep using the word inoculation, right? Vaccine, that means grafting. So that's like that's like intertwining with another being, or right, wanting to be something else again, or wearing mother's clothes, or like you took something and then you're like, well then you shouldn't have done that. Like what just happened to me with the door before. I was like, because I didn't answer the door before, and I was like, oh, like I knew already who it was. So being like that, I didn't answer the door, right? It's like I figured that that would have been respected because there's already awareness of what I do. So it's like, right, so then to come back and be banging at my door, like, right, it's like a Wizard of Oz. Bang, bang, bang. Like, listen, Dorothy, don't you remember? Glenda already told you had the power the whole time. uh, oh boy. There's so much crazy shit going on. Energetically and right, yeah, spiritually. In every manner. It's interesting. And I'm going through it too. And it's like, right, but I can only come from my perspective, and then what else is getting like dropped into my right. It's like so again, it's like it's all love. It's all and there's a lot of mixes going on, like right, I guess like I don't know if makes me think of the Star Trek Golden Palace Rescue. Like that. Never ending story. Education. And Earth is our school. This is where we're gaining our knowledge and our education. If we kept going back to something that no longer served us, that especially on like, it's like the guy running after us with like one leg in a cane. He's like, get back here, just get right, trying to keep it, holding it together. And while everything right is coming apart, like the other card I pulled before, we going into the unknown. We ain't in Kansas no more, Toto. We did a whoosh and a whoosh and a memory metal, huh? And we're aware too, as far as I just want to, because I've come from a lot of different right dimensions at once here. Yeah, there's also a lot of like great people beings trying to do rituals. Some before that, they're full, but we're aware. We already have awareness. It's like all eyes on me. And all eyes on you. Eh? You shouldn't be fucking with shit you shouldn't be fucking with. And then trying to blame other people and make it look like or appear as if. Right? Who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? That's the oldest shit in the fucking book. Jeez. And what is his terrorist or the devil or Satan gonna be like, hey, do you know who I am? Do you remember those stories you heard? Like da da da, or would the thought you come? No, no, no. Right? Think about that, right? Like what happens as far as like right terror, they make you feel bad, they make you right go after something that's going to pull on your heartstrings, a child in need, someone that needs help, an older woman, some older man, I've fallen and I can't get up, right? They lure you, right, with something flashy, and it doesn't necessarily need to be flashy, it can just be something that so that quick, right, we jump and into the right into the unknown we go. So like I had to say to my mom called me earlier today and I said to her, I said, you know, this is why I know it got told stay in your arc, right? Um I have a phone call now. I'll call them because I'm almost done here. Um so yeah, that's why Noah was told stay in your arc, right? Because this is the flood of consciousness, right? So this is when we're getting lit up. Our DNA is being lit up, right, like a Christmas tree, and right, and people are walking trees, right? People are planets. Right, the universe is inside of right? So to go into triple darkness means I have to connect my magnets here. It's like rainbow. So this can, right, and then it comes out. So you can imagine a rainbow coming this way, right? It's a double rainbow, really, into the solar plexus. Because like solar plexus is projected. So if you're laying down right under the sea or a sea creature, that's the right, the solar plexus is right the horizon, the sun and the set. And the subconsciousness that runs that is connected to the gut, the solar plexus. Right? That's different than the heart chakra being connected to right the third eye and the crown and coming up from the ground, right? Being a land, right? So, and don't forget too, octopuses are able to walk on land and camouflage. So they have to think before they do that, or they just have extra sensory, super hypersensitivity, right? Able to cloak with whatever, right? Shapeshifter, camouflage, etc. So when we start to gain more knowledge of like right animal kingdom, plant kingdom, mineral kingdom, and then you and star system, you start applying the universe inside of you to right the spirit animals, let's call spirit animals, that comes up through or around you and what have you. Um oh, that's super special to me. And today's one of my cousin's birthdays, Holly. Happy birthday, Hal. I love you. And the elk, that came out for her. That's her Uncle Raj. Your daddy's saying happy birthday, baby. Oh, that was super special. I've shown this before too. So these things go together very much. Mm. That's really cool. So too, I want to just also quickly, because I, like I said, I got to cut. So a few things, right? Yeah, the blame game. the shizzle, right? I suggest refrain from stating or shouting out in a negative manner someone else's name. And I'm aware that I used the name Susan before. I still am not talking any shit. It's like I'm just again I'm very neutral. I'm just aware, and I'm bringing light to what the fuck is actually going on from a very neutral place. So it's like, again, after you've already done A, B, and C, and then you're still like it's like we've already allowed time and space and a very high amount of tolerance and patience, right? And it's not like we're not gonna now, but we're just gonna like, yeah, not engage. And then you guys wonder why we are gonna not engage. It's like because anytime even we do to be nice, then you guys still come at us with you got something to say. You want your energy harvested. You want more. Disease of the Moors, right? As a codependent, alcoholic behavior isms. So there's a lot of adults running around pointing fingers, trying to tell others what they should and shouldn't do, right? With the virus, first it was the virus. Now I'm barely hearing anything about the virus, and now people are dropping like flies from getting this stupid shot in their arm. I was like, we already like I don't even. It's like this is just the most people losing their sense of smell, right? People becoming sterile, and this is right away after this just came out. So the actual numbers and the statistics that of people that have actually died in the last 2 years hasn't changed. So I would do your research before you kept listening to the whole virus narrative that was pre-scripted and ejected out into the public to, right? That's the virus. People that are right, that what how it went viral, right? It was airborne, right? It's like the most ridiculous shit to me. And then now people have been freaking out, telling everybody else what they have to do. Kids are walking around scared, wearing masks. There's all these extras. Well, if you believe you're sick or believe there's all these bad things, well, now you created imbalance within you, and that's part of now you became the virus too. It's like Walking Dead. Like, so ain't nobody want to put you down. Just chill the fuck out and stop fucking running around, right? Like you're the one that fucking deserves it and is entitled to the crown. And then as soon as we're like, oh, well, you must be king or queen or God, right? Because I don't know, we're just all trying to understand why there's like all this like flux going on and all this bullshit. Speak right, Moon In Taurus. Grab the bull by the horns, or are you following by his balls? Right? Are you watching? Are you behind, just watching them things swing? Follow the leader, the leader of the pack. I better stay in your lane. Stay in your own lane. Do you know how many people always all the same? Everybody's like, even like old, so many people are staying in your lane. If they should have stayed in their lane, it's like everyone's in on that. We love you, Miss. I don't, Donald Duck. I don't like to say people's names if they don't. Oh, I was dropping on my toes. Maybe it was from Daisy. Now you say her name. I love that bitch. She makes me happy when skies are gray. We're all gathering nuts, and we're all dealing with nuts. And we all are nuts. Cuckoo. Um, um, so yeah, creating a healthy boundary and not allowing, that's where we started. Cool. Whale's tail. Not allowing others' bullshit to because the first thing that they'd like to do is like, well, if you didn't do that, or you made me feel this way, or oh da, da. They always want attention, they always need more, right? It's like again being at the bar, right? We're gonna close like one more shot, one more shot, one more shot. And trust me, I've been on both sides of the bar. You know, it's like I've been a bartender a long time. You know, and we're known as one of the best psychologists, right? Psychiatrists, relationship therapists, just somebody to write bitch to and like that. And you know you it stays there, right between right, which isn't always a great example as far as alcohol goes, but it's fine because right that's down in the basement, the watering hole. Alcohol could be used is neutral, just like right, spirit, just like an alcohol represents like the Holy Ghost. While right, spirit is the more right, ascended is more like hi. But when it's like in our gut and right, then it's like right, we have to give up the ghost. Um, I don't mean kill nothing. It just means like right, you allow something to transform with love, and it's like thank you for like it's like right being grateful that you know what I used to need that. I used to use that to make myself feel better. Right, it gave me extra like false power. Right, false power it made us feel stronger when we needed something as a crutch or to make us feel better. Right, a lot of people use right like again, energy harvesting that you're not drinking? You're drinking swamp gas from Uranus. You're a booty juice drinker, round noser. So you come around people that do that, they're like they're sniffing around looking for they're constantly trying to weasel find we get sneak crevice come into the crevices, find their way in. And then if you say something, it's like then they lash out at you or they make you feel some kind of way or they throw you off track from what you were doing. Right. So it's like, yo, these are mommy daddy issues. These are like, you guys all, this is emotional, right? Behavioral immaturity issues that people have not dealt with. And they're all adults that have kids, half of them, most of them, some of them. Either way, you're spitting out thoughts and feelings everywhere. So you're making stuff. Those are also, right? It's not all about human if you've actually had intercourse and made a physical baby. That's why they say take a village. There's different beings that are able to right carry different extraterrestrial babies into this right realm that we're all existing in. I say we're in. I say Earth is an earthly body. So if we have many here, right? There's many Earths like floating around in the void of the black sea, right? Right, it gets deep under the sea, and then the ocean is different than right the cosmos, cosmic mother. Wait, is different than earthly mother, right? Gaia, right, is still pregnant with the earth. That's what we're all birthing right now, right? A new earth, right? A new birth, right? Why is Christ, the baby, right? Jesus missing from the manger? Our manger is up here in our right. You have to rise your Christ child within. It's like, hey, wait, your little right, whatever your name is, your little kid that's inside you. And I work with this stuff too. Right, inner child wounds and healing, addictions, right, past life, I guess regression, healing, right, just frequency vibration, ancient sound alchemy and ancestral wisdom that comes through right through channeling and telepathy and right like it's like again like I said like spirit radio tune in Tokyo or angel radio however you feel comfortable calling it right? Adam is cool with me. Um, I'm just here to, right, um, take the right. It's like, right, if somebody knows how to surf, it's like, and I'm gonna learn, or I want my children to learn. I'm gonna want to be with somebody that, right, has been surfing before and it has some knowledge of the ocean and the waves and, right, the animal, the sea life that might be in the water there and how to, right, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes into play with that, right? So we all have different gifts. It's not about like, oh, these people think there's this and those people think they're that. It's like, wait a minute. If you're so busy worrying about, again, pointing and directing and calling people, right, negative things because you're unwilling to like see if you're in vibe and let things go, then you're not coming from, right? You're not coming with an attitude of gratitude. It's like, right, but then you're not coming open minded. You're just wanting to be starting something, right? So it's like, yo, back the fuck up. The onyx is here. Um, yeah, and go take a time out. Allow some time and space before, so that you have a right, so that you ain't trying to, let's see. I'm gonna be real polite. So you're not trying to like, right, rush your puberty, right? It's like everybody blossoms at different times. Everyone's born at different times, right? We all have different birthdays, so we're all, right, getting reborn, and then you kind of can go back to sleep a little. Certain things you may, right, and then it's like certain things you may hear may mean nothing, and then it takes some time to develop, right? Or then a few other, you run into a few other people or happen to see numbers and license plates and hear a song, hear a phrase, you happen to look over and see, right, the writing on the side of a truck, so you're being gravitated, right? Gravity is one of the baby elements, right? Where was gravity made? There has to be a push and a pull between two poles or sources in order to, right, have gravity. I have to have a pole with polar opposites, and there has to be a mess in the middle. I goes into like hollow earth and like right, the tube, how the I can more see it like energetically and I can verbalize it. Very hard to verbalize, like, right, how we're seeing in the astrophysical in that manner. Um because like trying to explain like what you're seeing in your head when you're driving and you're thinking, you're feeling, it's like there's a difference between your thoughts, your feelings, and when those are clear, right? Your Adams and Eves are clear, they're connected, they're balanced, they're hanging out with Jesus and Mary in the garden behind the tree, right? And a whole nother um right, that's not where like, and that but and I'm talking more like, again, that's more heart chakra. uh so it's again having a, and then that can go too into like, right, Osiris, Isis, right, balance, and like behind again, but it's more, right, the children, it's like women and children all stay away because these motherfuckers are crazy, cry. um and just to throw this question out there, male, female, whatever, right, if you're a male or a woman or right, again, do you think there is a difference, right, between a woman and a female, right? It's like an adolescent and a young woman, creator, goddess. right? If there's a creator, isn't going to necessarily have all the information because it's just unaware of what's right being spit out, say, in the void, right? And then there's so many other things. So then, right, it's like, you know where your children are? You know where all your children are? What they're thinking, what they're doing, and they can go do something like phone call, right? Where again, there's causes and effects. When other people try to take other people's places, it's like there's effects on all these things, right? When other people take, like, right, what happens with cows? They get stripped away from their mothers. Are we sure we're not still dealing with mad cow disease? Just wondering. Oh, it's like that kind of shit. Bird flu. What else is there? Lyme disease, right, which is also man-made with ticks in Connecticut, Lyme, Connecticut. So, you know, men tinker with things. So again, it's not like, oh, about bad blame, etc. It's like, wait. Keep cleaning in here, your side of the street, your mind space. Be able try to come to a place where it's clear because everything that we once thought is about to disappear in a sense, right? And that's too like with the oil and the gas and what's happening, right? Because we have better methods and ways of saving, conserving, and using our energy that we don't have to keep fracking the earth and harming the earth and charging each other an arm and a leg, right? Um, and going through, underground pipelines and, underwater basins that are hiding. I believe from what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, human beings and stuff. Their bodies, there's right, there's trafficking, there's stuff going on there that should not be. I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah. And whoever is involved with that, you know who you are. You're the ones doing it and trying to hide and run around like you're not, and then make other people worry and have fear so you can distract them so you can keep doing what you're doing. It's like, isn't that what anybody does when they don't want to be caught doing something? Like if a teenage boy's in his room jerking off, they're like, don't come in, mom, right? I mean, I don't know. To me, it's like the same thing at this point. Yeah. Little boys jerking off, acting like little freaking bitches, running around pointing their fingers, wanting to be president and oversee everything, and then fucking charge taxes because they say there's some war going on. Motherfucker, the only war that's going on is inside your head because you haven't taken time and space, allowed time and space to process, and you're freaking driven by envy, greed, gluttony. Again, there's time and space for everything, but like balance that shit out. Why say bark, 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 bark? Lots of barking orders, right? Like the whole right pecking order. I was like, but you guys are coming from, but like you guys got shit all over your shoes and you're spitting shit out. So everybody's got to wear Depends on their face. Can't save your ass and your face at the same time, unless you look both ways first. Right. Yeah. All right. So I have to call back my peoples and go get them the medicine that they need. Um, and I know that's, I have to go pick up my friend Joe an inhaler. There's a lot of different, again, beings here. So it's important that you take the time to take care of you. Stop listening to the bullshit of others. Seriously. When we hold on to guilt, right? Oh, I feel bad. That person could get mad at me if I don't ABC. Um, it's like we try to help people, but there's a certain, right? Again, every cause has an effect, and it's give and receive, not give and take what you want, your pick, right? It's give and then we receive. And sometimes it takes time to manifest. And Happy full moon in Taurus, like I said. Not full moon, new moon, new moon. So it's still good because then at the end of this month, when it is a full moon, it's full moon in Sag, I think. Oh, this is going to be wild, crazy, fast ride. Like flash, lightning, flash, light. Hope you're ready. It's like being on a roller coaster in a haunted house on a haunted hayride where, right, we're in a scary movie and some of it can be really scary, like, right, we're having bad dreams mixed with good dreams. That's part of Mercury and alchemy and, right, Mercury, fifth element, all right, in one sense, part of the triangle, because it's like Star of David. And then the other side of, right, five is, right, spirit, ether. So it depends on which way you're coming from, but either way, it's Mercury, because spirit, again, spirit could be in the gut, become Holy Ghost, or it could get fucked up in the mind and become real mercurial. Right? It's twisty. It's a twisted tree. It's a twisted family tree. So we just want to make sure we keep cutting all the ivy growing up, strangling our trees. We don't want things growing up from the roots and strangling our trees, because that's what ivy does. I cut it at the roots, cut it at the bottom, so it can't constrict, right? And again, with love, we're not, don't do anything like, we don't want to create any more, no more karma, no more drama. Yeah. It's like we may feel really yucky being pregnant, but it doesn't mean we're like, I hate this baby. I don't want, right? It's like, oh, this baby's making me feel like shit. But we still love, right, the baby that's growing inside us, even though we've never met it. And also another thing, you can't take it out and hold it and say you know what it looks like. You love it before you even met and know what it, right, looks like physically, right? For me anyhow. Your mama, I am. Right. So when we're nurturing something, right? And we all have different things to nurture, and we all have different levels of awareness, whether within or without. But it's important that we all share those things, because it's like if somebody else is working over there, but I'm over here working, right? Somebody else the gardener, but I'm the chef, right? So it's like, yo, what you do is mad fucking important. And then the other person, a farmer, right? Like, so they know the land and the freaking moon, the lunar calendar, right? Almanac, etc. So big difference in like how we all of our gifts, and we, it's very important to be you, right? Nurture your gifts, because we all, it's very important. Everything matters. Everything is contributing to the change we're making, right? Change, right? Fuck Buck, Kill Bill. Buck, he likes to, yeah. Remember Pulp Fiction too? I was thinking of Pulp Fiction again earlier today. That scene. Well, the other day it was like, right? See what? One more time. What? Ow. You're all the ones that want a shot anyway, right? So you can go do shots. Want to take a shot? At what? It's like you. That cracks me up, right? I got my shot, so I could go to the bar and do shots because I'm so like sick of being in my home. But since there's not really a virus that gets me sick, because they're saying there's like this big sickness, and there is, right? As far as you're, you can. It depends how you're looking at it. Again, like I have allergies right now, but I'm not taking anything over the counter or under the counter or from anybody to like, aside from natural herbs and drinking tea and like just dealing with it because it is what the fuck it is. I may not like it, but I'm not like, like now, like, right, it's like it's part of, right, cause and effect. My body is having a reaction to right? Certain allergens, or all the fairies that are like flying around everywhere, doing their magic, pollinating. But outside, I'm like, everything's green. I'm like, we are in Uranus, aren't we? Swamp gas everywhere. Actually, right? Well, Shrek and the swamp. Now I'm thinking of Shrek. And right, and then all the remember when they all like raided Shrek's woods. It's like, no, what are you all doing here? Fairyland overrated. Fairy tale land. So that's kind of what's happening right now. Fairy tale land is mixing and alchemizing with right linear material world with the material world. Material 707 straight to heaven. That's what I was saying before. Yeah, clouds, really cloudy out there, right? So clouds are right. If you think about like heaven, right? Look how cloudy those clouds are out there. You'll see them. They're all thick. There's some blue over there. But the clouds, right? It's like what is that, Buddha or what? It's like if you're gonna only think that everything's gonna be fine all the time, right? And you get to float in the clouds and right, and when things get rough, it's like, oh, they're bad, or I can't deal with that. It's like, no, 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 you have to deal with that. You have to be able to also, right, allow negativity to allow you to grow, right? It's very important. So it's not like, oh, so I'm just gonna go participate in all these negative things. No. That means what naturally comes to you, right? Learning to start to deal with the uncomfortable negative thoughts and feelings that we're having within ourselves, right? Learning how to say no to, right, surges and urges and desires that may be running our program and turning us into unconscious, right, walking dead zombies. So we're all like, "Arr, arr, arr, consume, consume," right? Whether it's energy, material, hanging on to a relationship, a loved one, right? Wanting and waiting, they all these terms of right there, these are all stagnant and um vibrations that affect all of us on quantum levels, and right, so that's what we're untangling, quantum entanglement, and really going through our shit. Really, that's what it means, right? Being a big girl and boy, divine being, pulling our pants up, right? It's okay to fall. It's like just taking that time, a little bit at a time. It's right. Just even saying, I'm going to allow myself to take a look at myself, and and let go of some of the control, right? Because I'm only feeling like I need to be in control when I'm in fear, right? That something's not going to be how I like it. Something's going to get switched and changed on me. Somebody else might take it. They might like that person better. They might, right? So it's like all our fears make our, right? Make it get cloudy, but up in here, right? So then above our mind where we have these clouds, and then we're allowing, right? Oh Lord, please save me. So, right, he knows when you are sleeping. So you just let Santa crawl from your solar plexus, right? The Satan child, crawl up your spine like a little parasite, up the back of your head, and sit up on your chimney and go up into your clouds and say, He God. That's the Lord. That's the Lord. I'll be real careful who you're who you think you're fucking talking to and who you're allowing in your energetic field to control you. Or it's like
And don't freak out, right? Again, it's like, because that's not bad. It's like, again, we allow certain things, and it's like, hey, wait, come back down here, because remember, this is where you belong. You'll be much more comfortable right here where you belong, right? It's like having gas. When you have gas in your, it's like, oh my, in your stomach, or it's like, oh, you have an air pocket, right? And you're, it's like that shit fucking hurts sometimes. That's like, oh my gosh, it's like, why is that like, oh yeah, yeah, or you go run and you get a cramp, right? Um, so it's just allowing energy to be moved and shifted, right? We're by using our breath, right? Breathing in, breathing out through our mouth, allowing that, if you can imagine like a ball coming up through the air, through your tube, right? Up past the crown chakra, up into the crown, right? Past the third eye. Allow your air, like follow it like a ball down past the navel. All right, allow your heels to connect with the ground so that you're connected, you're grounding. Right? There's like a mirror image of you upside down under your feet, right? Your shadow. Right? Like the sun. The sun follow you all day, like right, the sundial. So your shadow self is always attached, right, to the soles of your feet. So while we've been like, right, we've pushed so many emotional things and etc. And there's other beings that have been here a long time. So a lot of them, they just have very calloused hearts, or they've been afraid, or they've been taking care of other things for so long. They're like, oh, whatever, nobody cares about me anymore anyway, or everything's changed so much. So it's like, no, no, no. They paved the way. Now they get to like see all the fruits of their. They haven't gotten to take a look yet, right? So we want to allow them, right, time and space to be like, no, we're grateful. Take a look at all that you've done and built, right? Be grateful for the stuff that we do have and that's here, right? From that place, right? See, already that's coming from a much nicer place. Even if we don't agree, just to be grateful, because we don't even know. We didn't even get to see yet. We don't even know what's really, right, been done, or what people have gone through. We just know, like, now, stories that are posted and thrown out and prescribed narratives, prescripted, right, by big pharma to farm the cattle, right? And it says in the Bible, fathers going to be fighting daughters, sons, what, that whole, right? It's like, so your father, like, had a household. Your divine masculine has to be in balance, right? With the little, you're letting your little Satan child run your divine masculine. When you pay taxes, right? Are you head of household? Are you claiming your head of household, right? You can't just claim money and then not have any worth. You just want credit, right? It's like, wait, whoa, whoa. What you talking? Guys got a fucked up way of looking at shit. Your scales are way off balance. Hello, have you seen American Debt Clock? Oh, well, we'll just whatever. Oh, da 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 da. No, 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 no. Right now. The time is always now. Right fucking now. Take a look. Right? You gotta take a few breaths and take it easy. Do you really need it's like that's just anxiety or fear arising within you, making you feel like you need to be somewhere else in this now moment, which then we also say that's the ego, right? The sun. So it went from down here in our solar plexus, right? Where are you? Where are you, camera? And go up over our head, so that ego takes over, right? The sun's like, yeah, you gotta go over here, da 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 da. So we get put to sleep because obviously we're not smart enough to not let the devil take over, right? So we're knocked out in the passenger seat and the devil's driving our car because we decided to drink too much alcohol with Satan. So that parasite done crawled up our fucking head and it's like sucking right on your third eye, hanging out there like a, right? It's not a tumor. So whether you've gotten the shot or not or whatever, again, and if anybody's been put under false pretenses or lured under false pretenses, that shit ain't gonna work anyhow, because that shit's like, yeah, it's like you guys did stuff without allowing people to make a proper decision because you didn't give them the truth to work with. You didn't give them the truth to work with, and you didn't allow them to hear us, right? They call us crazy or they say whatever about us. So it's like, well, according to the world and the realms that we've come from, that like, have you guys figured out how to build the pyramids yet? How are the hieroglyphics written on there so perfectly? How are all those paintings in art caves that look like children's drawings perfectly sacred? It's all sacred geometry, all by golden ratio. That's like the thing too, like, right, it's gonna be full disclosure by June. Um, which again, right, it's kind of like if you look at it more like, those that know are kind of hiding Christmas presents. Or you can make it scary. You can make it, right, like, oh, they've been hiding everything from us, they're liars, they're whatever. It's like, well, but remember Santa said no peeking. So there's certain things we have to wait for, right? It's like just wait for it. Um and at the same time, go inside because it's like they're talking about you too, right? Your body is like, and they talk about the spaceships and the, anti-gravity machines and, right, metal that's self-healing and destructible. It is able to change form, right, and stretch, right? Well, didn't your skin stretch with you as you're growing? If you get cut, it has memory, right? We have cellular data memory within all of our molecular structure, all our atoms, right? So like these little chips floating around, they all like the dust ball, like little dust when you see floating around, or what have you, or little molecules. If you ever see that, like stuff like floating around, right? Well, that all contains memory. Water holds memory. It's always recording. So once we really, it's like our bodies are like the systems that are within, right? You have an aura, your auric system, you have, right, your lunar cycle, you have your solar, right, return when you were birthed onto this earth, when your soul decided to meet with your physical body and come into, your mother's vessel. You made all those decisions with the souls of the beings that you came with in order to have the lessons you're having right now, right? In this physical human life experiment experience as a multi-dimensional spiritual fucking awesome light being that's gone through fucking hell and back, right? To be where you are right now. So give yourself a pat on the back and like a big hug. Like you've come really far. Don't you know that you're a star? Truly, right? Everybody has their own sun, their own star, their own star systems that they come from, and the ancestors that are within them, and the planetary systems, how they align, and how the spheres sing with what's, inside of you here. And depending on how you decide with your free will as a human to take on the different thoughts and feelings that you experience, right, throughout your daily and night life from moment to moment, how we all, right? It's like, so, excuse me. Um, it's really very, very like complex, right? Simply difficult, complex, and like amazing because we can relate it to. It's like try to have more fun and seeing what you can relate to instead of what you can compare to. Yeah. And allow things to, right, like blossom. It's like if I plant a seed and put it in the ground, if I keep digging up the dirt and looking to see if like anything's happening under the dirt, well, it's not gonna, right, I'm not gonna give it as much of a chance to grow into what it needs to, nice and sturdy with all its nutrients. If I just leave it alone and trust and have faith, it's gonna do exactly what it needs to do because I planted the seed. right? Now I can check on it, I can water it, right? Nurture it, see how it's doing. I can sing to it and talk to it and maybe encourage it, support it, especially if it gets something I grow and it gets big. I may like tomato plant. I may have to use some sticks or something to hold them puppies up, and those like the wire things that go around them. Again, I'm not a gardener. I'm more. I'll eat it and I'll cook it. I'm learning now, and I'd like to learn more. Right? It's like, but that's not my forte. That's not my natural. Like, oh yeah, like what I'm gravitated to. I end up killing most things. Like I said, that I end up trying to keep going. It's like so it's like ugh. So we all need help. That's why I said we all need help. We all have handicaps. We all are a mess, right? We're all perfectly imperfect. We're messy bitches, human beings, right? Whether you started as a human or you started as extraterrestrial or whatever you started as, right? Ultra terrestrial, extraterrestrial, human, elemental, right? Just an adamant object that a child or something else loved so much that eventually grew into, right? Rocks carry consciousness, crystal, etc. So there's so many different variables. You can't tell don't you dare try to tell somebody else where the fuck they came from or who the fuck they are. You better figure out where you fucking came from and who the fuck you are. Murder? Before you go barking like Anubis up somebody else's fucking tree. So, down to the halls of Amente and the pyramid we go. Happy new moon. We just had the full moon in Scorpio. Now we got the new moon in Taurus, and we're going into the next full moon in Sag, which these two are the super, super full moons. So again, lots of change, lots of things may come up and downright be scary, feel uncomfortable, make you angry. You know, a lot of people are afraid to be who they are because they haven't been able to be accepted, and all anybody wants to be is accepted. So when we're not allowing each other to find out who the fuck we are, everybody worried about, oh, they're not gonna be money, or oh, the virus, or oh, well, aren't those are seriously, those are deflections to, it's like, oh, here, Booth, go get the stick over there, river of sticks, right? So of course, right, Satan or etc. is going to try to distract you. The Jezebel, the freaking, however you want to look at it, whatever it is to you, whatever, right? Like, right. So it's like the lure, the fancy woman, the sexy woman, the flashy car, the money, the job, the fame, right? You know, you are the resources. Have integrity, have honor, have respect, come from a balanced place where you can have, where you're coming from unconditional love. That's why there's a big difference with like beings that are for like from say Venus, etc. That's unconditional love. That's coming from this area. That's not coming from immature feelings like, well, how come you didn't love me? How come you weren't here? That's emotion. That's energy in motion, and that's Eve. That's after form. That's light and sound traveling through space and time. Right? Like miscellaneous, right? Or in the void where we are, where there is no thing, not where there's nothing. Nothing. Nothing is way different than no thing. I'm not applying a name and a label to, I'm going where there's no, right? So subtle differences in how we interpret the vibratory words that we think, that we spit out mentally, that we dwell upon, that we harbor, the emotions that we harbor, the emotions we allow to fly up through us, right? Cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such a sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. All right, I love you all. Please like and subscribe and hit the belly bell so you can get notified and keep the movement moving, tribe. Choo choo. Later. Thank you so much.